Hello and welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about solving exponential equations, getting ready to go into solving of logarithmic equations. And so on these, we're just going to be looking at the exponent and how we can use the rules of exponents to solve these equations. So when you look at equation number 1, on there it says 5 to the 3k is the same as 625. And what we're going to be doing here is really what we're trying to do is make the bases the same. That's kind of the key. Make the bases the same. Okay? And so what we're looking is there a way to write 625 as 5 to some power on there? And so you can kind of think your way through it, hopefully on there. But if you take 5 times 5, you're going to get 25. And 25 times 5 is 125. Times 5 again is 625. So what that means is if I take 5 to the 4th power, I will get 625. Once I do that and my bases are the same, then the exponents must also be the same. So if the bases are the same, the exponents must be the same. And I can actually just write me an equation here. 3k equals 4, therefore k is 4/3. And you're done. That's all you've got to do. Okay, so let's try another one. I'll come over here to this other side, number 2. So 3 to the negative 3b. But what would I write 3 to the power 2 to get 1? Well, the rule we're learning here, or remembering here, is that anything to the 0 power is 1. So I could write 1 as 3 to the 0. Therefore, now again, my bases are the same. Therefore, my exponents have to be the same. And I get 3b equals 0. Therefore, b equals 0. And I'm done. Okay? So I'll leave you for the next 2 to do, and then we'll go ahead and talk about number 5. So a little bit different here, and the fact that over here on this side, we actually have 2 to the 2b plus 3 times 2 to the 2b minus 3. And the rule that I told you up here, it is only if you have a number to a power equals that same number to a power. They've got to be equal. In this case, we're going to need to first put together these two expressions. So this would be 2. And again, if you're multiplying, remember, let's go back to a rule. If I have x to the m times x to the n, remember the rule is to multiply the 2 here. Okay? Or sorry, to add the 2. Add your powers. So I'm going to take, and I'll just write this out, we're going to add these 2 powers together. Okay? And then that's still going to equal what's on the right side there. So I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. So this becomes 2, and it looks like the b's are going to cancel, and that the 3's also cancel. So this is 2 to the 0 equals 2 to the negative b. Therefore, my equation would be 0 equals a negative b, or b equals 0. And you could go back in and put that into your problem and check it out to see if that does work. Okay, I'm going to leave you 6 to do because it's very similar. Number 7. Now, this one's a little different because if you say, well, what can I write? 4 to the what power will give me 8. Well, that won't happen. You can't do that. So sometimes what we need to do is change both of the bases, okay? And one of the things that I know is that 2 squared is 4. And so I could rewrite 4 as 2 squared, still to the 3x power. I could write 1/8 as 1/2 cubed, okay? And then again, technically that's still to the 3x power, okay? Now, go back up here to our rules. Remember, if I have a power to a power, the rule is to multiply. So that's what I'm going to do on this one. So I have 2 to the 6x equals, let me go ahead and do that, 1/2 to the 9x. Okay? Now, all I've done is simplify, but here's the next thing. I still don't have these to the same base because this one is 2 and this one is 1/2. So I've got one more step, and I could have done it all together up there earlier, but I'm going to do one more step, and that is I'm going to flip this, okay, and make the 9 negative, okay? So what rule am I using? The rule I'm using is that anything to the -1 power is 1 over the reciprocal of. So if it would look that way, it would, or I could think of it as 1 over x equals x to the -1 would be the opposite, which is the way I'm doing it here. Okay, so you see we're just continuing to use our rules of exponents to solve these equations. My bases are the same, therefore my powers must be the same, and I'm going to have 6x equals a -9x. Now, don't go and divide by x. You can't do that. You've got to move the 2 to this over to the same side. That gives me 15x equals 0 and x equals 0. Okay? You see what I did there? Okay, I'm going to, let's see which one I want to do. I'm going to kind of skip on down here. Let's just look at 15. Again, we've got 81, 243, and 81. So right off the top of my head, and hopefully you can think of it, is I can do powers of 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 again would be 81. So 3 to the 4th is 81. I'm just going to write that down. And then if I take 81 times 3 again, I'm going to get 243. So 3 to the 5th is 243. Okay? And you'll find out that once you do several of these problems, you will start learning your powers on here. Believe it or not, you kind of start memorizing them. So we're just going to do a substitution. So 81 is 3 to the 4th. So I have 3 to the 4th. That is still to the k-1 power, times, and 243 is 3 to the 5th. That is to the k-1 power, and 81 is to the 3 to the 4th. Now, on this side, again, I'm going to need to go ahead and put that together. I'm going to go ahead, so I'm applying 2 rules. One is power to a power, which again says to multiply the 2. Then I'm also going to apply the rule that says I'm multiplying, so I need to add. Okay, so I'm kind of double applying the rules. I'm going to go ahead and do it all as one step. Okay, so I'm going to multiply these 2, and then add them together. Okay, so and I'm going to write it out. So 4k minus 4 plus 5k minus 5, okay, is 3 to the 4th. So 3 to the, where am I at? 9k minus 9 equals 3 to the 4th. Again, now my bases are the same. My powers must be the same. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and solve, move my 9 over, and that's going to give me 13. And then divide, and there's my answer. Okay. And we could go back in and check to see how well we did. What number was that? That was number 15, 13/9. We got that. You can go back in and check our others, but you see there were several zeros, and I know we got those. Okay? So your assignment will be to go on back in, and you can finish up the ones that I did not do. So I did 1 and 2 and 5 and 15. Is that all I did? And I did number 7. Okay, so go back in and try the rest of those. Again, I've given you answer key down at the bottom. You can go in and check yourself to see if you're doing those right. Again, remember, you are going to be applying your rules of exponents to those. So keep in mind of that. Again, remember that the rule is you got to make the bases the same. Okay, make the bases the same.